Hello everyone. We're on Karrion Kross time now. Has Alexa Bliss gotten to Charlotte? Where is the Archer of Infamy headed? And who's with him? I'm Casualeann. Come with me. Our hosts for the September 6th episode of Raw Talk are Kayla Braxton and Matt Camp. They start with Bobby's quest for being a double champion. So fans loved MVP, he's from Miami, and they come in 8th, the absolute last, in the Tag Team Turmoil match. The almighty WWE Champion did get the pin on AJ Styles at the end of Tag Team Turmoil, securing he and MVP's places as #1 contenders for Matt Riddle and RKO's Raw Tag Team Championships. They set up 2 possible feuds at once. Omos hits his finisher on Bobby Lashley, then Randy Orton has the final word with an RKO for the 2nd week in a row. They kind of did their best with giving Tag Team Turmoil a little space, giving the New Day a lot of rest time, because this match went on and on. It was superb, but man, it took a long time to get through. They move on to Charlotte and Nia's championship match with a Shayna distraction. Following Shayna causing Nia to lose, Alexa requests a Raw Championship match via a playground invitation and a long point. Karrion Kross defeats or destroys, whatever verb you want to use there, he does it, to John Morrison. And pre-match, they have an interview on a revamped Moist TV. Now, we'll get into that just a little bit later. There's a #1 contenders match for the US Championship. This is Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Every time they have a match, it is amazing. So it's another action-packed time. Sheamus wins via a roll-up. That was the one thing I did not like. He defeats him via a roll-up with a hand so full of tights, his wrist disappeared. Ah! What's with all the roll-ups? I know Drew can't directly be in the title picture right now, but it just felt like a really silly way to lose. Maybe it's leading into a heel turn for McIntyre. Maybe it's leading into him going over to SmackDown in the draft. But it better be headed somewhere, because this was crappy. Just the finish, though. The match was good. So with this, Kevin Patrick catches up with the US champion. Damian Priest talks about the triple threat the week before. He talks about the magnitude of pinning Drew McIntyre, how tough he is. However, he's shown, Damian Priest has, what he can do against Sheamus. His best, in fact. But Sheamus has not overcome Priest's best. He knows that come Extreme Rules, he will do what he has to do, and he will defeat Sheamus yet again. Now, what I find interesting that he does here is kind of talk up his own fans. It wasn't in a kind of generic, I've got the greatest fans in the world kind of way. He evokes the agents of infamy, his fans. He says that they're his people and that they see through things. They see through everyone, and they know that he's genuine. No matter where he is, he's just Damian Priest, and this is what the fans react to. This is what they love about him. This really isn't something that you see all that often anymore. Maybe in, back in the day, a Scott Steiner, maybe a Chris Jericho, to a lesser extent now, the Viking Raiders, but in this kind of deeper personality, perception level extent, it was lovely. Kevin asks about the fans and if Damian's going out tonight in Miami. Now, Damian answers in Spanish, and neither WWE nor Peacock felt it necessary to subtitle him. Google Translate at least gave me a little something to clasp onto. Basically that it's going to be tremendous being in Miami, seeing other Latinos, and he wants to go and celebrate. It's kind of the bastardized version. But bad WWE. Bad, bad, bad. You have a worldwide audience. Worldwide! Why are you doing this? There's one more question that Kevin Patrick has. Now, last time that Damian Priest was on Raw Talk, Kevin Patrick asked if he could go out with he and Drew McIntyre for a pint. And Priest said next time. Kevin's like, it's next time. You know, can I go out with you all? And Priest kind of pauses and he's like, I got you. I'll text you. And Kevin Patrick's like, you don't have my number. Poor thing. But it was great. Following some ads, we have a women's tag team championship contenders match. Now, Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH have a new name, Super Brutality, or at least on Nikki's side, it's a new name. Now, their chemistry is heightening. They defeat Tamina and Natalya, and Kayla and Matt talk about their success, how much the fans are really starting to get behind them. And Kayla mentions an opposites attract sort of dynamic. And Camp says, oh, like you and me. And Kayla responds, well, keep it about the show. That's the most interesting they've been in months. Sorry, it is. But from there, they transition to John Morrison, how he's now on a downhill turn since he and The Miz broke up. Now, I'm like, it's more like a cliff drop off into like an abyss. But okay, fair, for sure. Morrison and Karrion Kross star on Moist TV. It's not in the ring anymore. It's kind of backstage in like this smaller ring. Now, that didn't happen in the ring, but what did happen in the ring was Karrion Kross annihilating Morrison, putting him in the cash jacket. Now, Kross vowed to eliminate John Morrison out of existence, and he followed through. The charisma, the allure, the intensity of Karrion Kross in the Moist TV segment was insane. Now, as for the interview, the former KPZ tries to catch up with Karrion Kross, and he turns around and shushes him. The most terrifying shush I've ever seen. No questions. He's got something to say, and Patrick is gonna listen. He says that Morrison told him he needed to tell the fans who he was, but they already know. The problem isn't the people not knowing who he is. He doesn't sometimes. He doesn't always know who he is, but he says that he enjoys hurting people and that he's good at it. He says, word for word, so maybe if I just keep hurting people, I'll find the answers I'm looking for. That may be the most hilariously sadistic thing I've ever heard. I've never heard sheer violence couched in a journey of self-discovery. But you know what? I like it. So following that, we have some ads. They come back with Tag Team Turmoil, kind of in a little more detail. So we already know that the Almighty and MVP won the #1 contendership, which they will cash in on tonight's Raw. Camp and Kayla detailed their Raw Women's Championship match and Shayna's distraction finish. I think Shayna may be jealous of Nia or wanting a shot herself, which I would love to see if she didn't lose every time she's in the ring. But following the end of the match, Alexa invites Charlotte to her playground, and when Charlotte does not accept, they bring the playground to her. Charlotte grants her the match, but reminds Alexa that this isn't Alexa's playground. It's hers. They go to Shara Schreiber with Charlotte. Schreiber asks how satisfying it was to win following her loss to Nia the previous week. And Charlotte says she's successfully defended her championship. Schreiber asks what's her response in accepting. And Charlotte says she is not one to play with dolls. She collects championships. A lot of reigns means you probably haven't held it that long, but sure, spin it how you need to. It's a very short interview. Braxton and Camp talk about Lily's power and how she's more than just a doll. This is something that Charlotte needs to be paying attention to. That was it for the show. I'm going to go into the rating first, and you'll see why when I get to the must-watch segment. My rating is 4 out of 5. It was a great show overall, but a really short Charlotte Flair. A kind of dull, lackluster appearance for the Queen. I don't know why they're writing her like this, but yuck. She brought it down. I hate to say it. And Schreiber may not have helped much either. But as you know now, that is not the only interview on this show. My must-watch segment, I should say they're segments. It's Karrion Kross or Damian Priest. I could not choose this week, folks. This was Karrion's night, low-key. And I just say keep going with it, minus the ring gear. What's more frightening than a destructive machine? An unstable destructive machine. It was kind of a night of demonstrated captivation. It began at Moist TV and continued through his interaction with Kevin Patrick. I believe that he's exhibited to the universe this night that he's more than steampunk mask and Dollar General He-Man cosplay. He is, despite a kind of rocky start to the booking, a presence, an unrelenting talent. And in this crazy world of pro wrestling, I dare say he's not going anywhere. Now, Damian Priest oozed charisma in his interview. He didn't completely destroy McIntyre either. And giving Drew his due not only keeps Drew where he should be and makes Priest more of a babyface, but it brings Priest himself up. Because he's defeating these guys. He's pinning Sheamus. He's pinning McIntyre. So if they're good, he's better. Priest has continued to exemplify the work hard, play harder part of his character in speech, even if you don't get to see that second part in action every week. He doesn't deny who he is and takes his people with him. Live forever? He's on his way. That was Raw Talk from September 6th. What do you all think? What will a Charlotte-Alexa throwdown look like? Who are some more opponents to feed to Karrion Kross to make him look good? How long before he can be in the U.S. title hunt with the likes of Sheamus and Drew McIntyre? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks everyone for helping this channel reach 100 subscribers. I am so excited about that milestone, and you all are fantastic. So be sure, keep liking, sharing, and subscribing, and tap that bell icon to make sure that you get notifications for when new videos come out. And remember, if you'd like to be mentioned in a video, just comment that you're a subscriber and I'll acknowledge you in a future video. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you soon.